This is the market update. Don't tell me, let me guess. The market's down and you were upset. 5 days ago, the market was up and some people were happy, but some people were upset because they missed it. If you fit in either one of those categories, you are going to want to watch this entire video. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we're going live from the YouTube Shorts feed. Now, what's the first thing you want to think of? Why is the market down? The market is down, ready? Because there's a big buyer out there. Michael Saylor put a tweet out right at the top of the market that was like, volatility is a gift to the market, or something like that. Now, what does that mean? That means that Michael Saylor has huge buy orders, his and other people's, no doubt. And the only way those orders will ever get filled is if the market makers come in and smash it, possibly for a couple of days, because the market dipped and people bought the first dip and then it kept dipping. Whoops. So these guys are going to push the market down in order to fill these huge orders. Now you're like, Bill, that doesn't make me feel very good. All right. I'll just tell you one more little thing that doesn't make you feel good, but then it'll make you feel better. Okay. Now, Charles Schwab, I used to work there, great firm. Their customers are screaming, give us Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. Now, it's amazing that, Schwab does a lot of good things, but often they resist change, right? And then they do things at the end. Like, in 2017 or in 2016, they bought an options company right when that wasn't the popular thing to do anymore. They bought a stock options company right before crypto took off, okay? And they weren't paying attention. This time, they weren't paying attention to crypto. Now their customers want to FOMO in, and that could be the top, right? When normies are like, oh, I got to have it. That's it, right? Market makers come in and goes, excellent. Everybody gets over their skis. Market makers hit the market, and boom, down it goes. Today, tomorrow, there's all this. Nobody knows what's going to happen at the White House. A lot of people going to the White House today to talk. Hopefully, they're going there to talk about something smart, because this market is like, oh my God, we're running for the hills. Now, here's the good news I promised you. So please continue to watch the video. I used to work with this guy. His name's Jordy. Super smart guy. He was actually the original market update typed through a Bloomberg terminal. Now, he has said more eloquently than me, but we've said the same thing. Machines will not use fiat, and machines are going to get a lot more active on blockchains. For example, doing what are called managed accounts. That's what they're called in legacy. You're going to have a managed account in crypto, and you're going to have some agent making decisions for you. That's all. Then you're going to have agents come in and try to figure out and share computing power. That's called DePIN, right? And the more AI agents pick up, the more volume is going to get traded in crypto. That's kind of a direct quote from Jordy, right? In other words, the volume of crypto traded is going to be massively higher in the future. Now, in the meantime, hopefully the fact that, Chat GPT-5 is not what you would want, right? But that's not going to change what's going to be in crypto and AI, frankly, in 3, 6, or 9 months. So this is a huge opportunity to grab crypto as they smack it. Really, it is. In other words, last week for our Patreon, for the regular group and for the platinum group, we published, believe it or not, a buy list, a hold list, and don't laugh, a sell list. Because sometimes it can be good to sell even when it doesn't look like you should. That's frequently the best time to sell. Everyone asks me that. Like, Bill, I know when to buy. I know when to buy when it's down. But when do I sell? Okay. Now, the shorter answer to when should you sell is possibly before there's a problem in equities. It's really funny that crypto's going down, yet people in legacy are going, well, you know what? We got so many problems over here. I think you should buy some crypto and gold. Really, buy some crypto and gold now. I mean, that's what they're saying. The stonks guys are saying. And you have a little bit of a problem in stonks. So here, let's do it very crypto positive. AI agents will want crypto. They'll want crypto to verify identity. They'll want crypto for privacy. You'll want crypto for privacy. No one's going to use fiat because there's only one form of money that's got any integrity. Don't believe me? Look at the Ethereum chart, right? Give me some money that has some integrity. Now, in the meantime, you do have a bubble in stocks. Like I saw something over the weekend, scared the daylights out of me, showed NVIDIA going from 2 trillion in market cap to 4 trillion in market cap. And here's what the chart looked like, right? You have this huge, monstrous AI bubblicious thing in equities, and it could create a disturbance. Now, let's talk about what that disturbance looked like and how it helps you in crypto. So don't stop watching the video. If they smack equities, if they start all this nonsense like, oh my God, the inflation statistics, oh my God, the Fed, oh my God, Powell, oh my God, this and that. You know what? And Jordy points this out. The economics numbers, assuming they're accurate, don't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is how much Uncle Sugar spends or prints. And they're going to do both. They are doing both as we speak. So yes, people got over their skis. Retail got too bullish, or the wrong retail got too bullish. And I had a guy this morning when I made the Michael Saylor tweet about they're hitting this thing because there are huge buy orders, and the guy types underneath, he goes, I hate crypto, right? And my heart goes out to this guy because this is just how it works, particularly when a banana zone move could be coming in the future, right? When I was a kid, they had something called shake and bake chicken, right? You put the chicken and the stuff in a bag and you just shook the chicken around. And that's what we all are, right? We're little chicken legs and we're getting shake and bake, okay? And we're just getting tossed around and it feels terrible. The good news is frequently, in order to feel good, you first have to feel terrible. You first have to have your conviction tested, right? Like, you know who got their conviction tested this week or last week? People who love Monero, the privacy coin, right? Did some kind of attack on the blockchain. Bunch of guys funded by the Chinese. Hello. Yeah, Monero lost half of its value from where it was in May. And now every time Monero goes down, it's coming back. That'll be the same type of price action you have in Bitcoin in, 3 or 4 days. You know, maybe everyone's taking profits to go home. That's what the media will say. You know, maybe there's a big GAN event in September. And here's the kicker. Whatever you do going into these big events like eclipses, so if the market's going down into the eclipse, the assuming reversal could be enormous. So while it is painful and no one wants to look at it, I know it's going to sound insane, but the deeper this goes, the harder they wash people out. If you can buy the dip or just not get blown out of the market, right? Don't let them stop you out. Because again, this is why we were telling people, hey, there are things in the freaking world here that you should sell, right? And why? Well, so you can have capital to come in if it goes down. And you're like, okay, Bill, well, I didn't sell. Well, of course you didn't. Nobody did. I didn't. A lot of other people didn't. We had to sell this. We made some decisions, but it's okay. Because if it's geopolitics, which it could be, that could be Middle East or Eastern Europe, or it's just stonks and people headed for the door in risk assets because they're afraid of fill in the blank. Because, a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, somebody was afraid about something and none of it mattered. What really matters is that crypto is the future of finance, the future of money, and the future of computing. And people are only now realizing that. It's the only real AI trade is crypto. So you're like, well, why is the market down? Well, because they're forcing you out. Seriously, they want you out and they want your crypto because they got to distribute it to somebody else. You want to know what the scariest thing in the world was for institutions? It was watching ETH look like it was going to go through 5,000. Everyone was like, oh, my treasury company is going to buy more ETH and my treasury company is going to take it up to 10,000. Folks, that ETH bus left almost everyone behind. The only one who was really on it, was BlackRock and maybe Tom Lee's ETH treasury company. Fidelity in there too. But really, it was the ETF guys who were on it. And trust me, when it goes down, they're going to be on it. Like 115, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. Frankly, it looks like the break of 116 was a giant stop fishing exercise into itself. No, as I'm saying, it could be 2 days. Maybe that'll be in the media. Maybe they just did it all. Maybe they just woke up and be like, okay, whoosh, run the stops, push everybody out. And I talk about this all the time. Now, let's talk about something that's a little unusual. So a very wealthy, very controversial figure said that he was going to allocate $400 million, supposedly, to fight what I would call Web 2. He's not happy with, I just call him Web 2. You know what's really interesting is that somebody would rather pay $400 million to fight Web 2 than buy $400 million of Web 3. Because the thing that people are going to realize is that Web 2, it could be a bubble. If it's a bubble, if it's not a bubble, it's not the best place to get returns. You know, its trade has been done. Crypto has been suppressed while these guys have had a wild party. The wild party is over at that frat house, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger in crypto. So somebody's going to spend $400 million to fight Web 2. Okay, maybe he's got a legit beef. That's fine. But why is everyone fighting them and not embracing the new future? They're not embracing the new future, right? And even you can see it in some legacy research. Like Goldman says, we see immense value in owning hedges. Okay, well, you know what? If you have to own a hedge, that means sell, right? So there are certain things out there that you should be getting out of. Most of them, in my opinion, are in the stock market because people may discover things like, oh, the accounting doesn't make any sense, or the earnings estimates don't make any sense. You know, these things can be seismic. They can make people go, oh, wait a minute, I want out of this. And crypto can be sensitive to these things, especially since, as I told you, the predators, and it's just all fair, right? Just want to wash everyone out because they got huge buy orders underneath. Huge. Like when I saw this thing down, Michael Saylor made the tweet. Somebody made another tweet that said, you know, the last time he said this, Bitcoin went down 30%. I thought he was kidding. Then I opened it up. I was like, oh my God. You know, this is the way it is in stocks. Like when an analyst in stocks says, we expect some volatility in the near term. Yeah, that means they think it's going down. In Michael Saylor's case, he wants it to go down. Or he knows it's going to go down because they're going to fill his orders and then dump the market, which is exactly what is happening as I talk. I mean, everybody is probably online, you know, where everyone's scrolling. And I understand it. We were doing it. We got to talk on the air. We're like, hey, we got to get ready for this. Why is the market down? The market's down because they need to buy, because crypto's the future. Now, how long does this go on? I don't know. I mean, will there be a stock market event? Will there be a geopolitical event? Maybe. 6 months from now, will you remember? No. You will not know. No. Okay. So could they smack? I think the thing that they want to hit hardest, don't laugh, is Bitcoin, right? In other words, everyone was like, well, you know, it's all about altcoins, and altcoins went up a lot. And then I think the Bitcoin maximalists like, well, this has probably gone too far. It's time for big boy Bitcoin to rally. And you know what? They had a point. So what happens when something is supposed to rally and then it doesn't? Ruh-roh, right? Oh, yeah. And the Charles Schwab customer base just screamed for it. Double ruh-roh. Okay. It's just sentiment. It's just tides. Again, like Bloomberg this morning, crypto retreats. People take profits. No, bro. People took profits last week, I think. They took profits at 120 or 123. When you have people smacking the market and no one knows what's happening, especially in a thin summer market, you either got a problem out there that we don't know about, which, around Labor Day, that has happened in history, or you have a very golden opportunity, which you need to be positioned for. So since I told you to watch the video to the end, let's just talk about what you need to do. First of all, if you FOMO'd or chased something or the wrong thing or bought the wrong thing or bought the high, not investment advice, is an opinion show, but clear your plate and clear your mind. Whether this lasts 1 day, 4 days, or 2 weeks. You want to make sure that your head is clear so that if anything scary happens, and I know this is strange, right? It's psychological advice. You hope nothing happens, which is why you stay in the market, because it's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market in case one day you wake up and it just goes. Believe it or not, that's a Schwab saying. That's one of the things that they do well, right? They have their HODL portfolio, but you want to adjust your book if you have to, or adjust your mentality to say, you know what? If something weird happens, I won't get upset. Now, I know that you're already upset because your bag is down this morning. If this goes on more than 4 days, will you be upset? I'm telling you, tune into this show, subscribe to the channel. Don't be upset if this goes farther than anyone thinks. Because, they already liquidated 100 million as of now. And you know what that's going to look like if the whole day is a mess, right? They're out literally. This is probably going to be one of the biggest stop fishing exercises because they know there's so much BS and legacy, which, this is a short stream. I'm not going to go into all that. Like, one group is saying, hey, you better start allocating to gold and crypto. Crypto is going down. You're like, oh my God. And in legacy, the smart people are like, you know what? We better get out of what we're in and we better come into crypto. The words that my friend Jordy used were perfect. The volume that's going to come into crypto. So they may try to smack Bitcoin to try to run stops and get everyone out. Because, a lot of people were fat, dumb, and happy making money. Glassnode keeps track of short-term holders, man. Woo! At 123, everyone was hot, rolling in dough. Not now. So you may chase out weak hands in Bitcoin. And if that's what happens, you may get to buy incredible dips in altcoins. Because when these AI agents come in, when the volume comes in, it's not just going to be Bitcoin. Solana never went up. XRP has been left by the side of the road again. How many articles do you read? I say it every day. How many articles do you read about XRP going to $1,000, XRP to $589, XRP $1 trillion market cap? That's what I say. Now XRP is below $3 and everyone's like dumping it. Like, oh, I can't touch this. XRP is below $3. Oh, 297, I'm out. Right? Seriously, when I look at XRP, it makes it feel like a one-day dip. Really. Bitcoin on charts looks like 116 was a stop fishing exercise. And I don't know how I can get negative XRP at 297. I don't. Like the Cardano washout is believable. We had that at neutral. One model we had said sell. I left it at neutral. Arrow was a sell. People thought I was out of my mind. I thought I was out of my mind. Right? So some of this stuff that's down, I don't know. It's not that shocking. A lot of it ran. And I don't know that people were thinking. Like they saw ETH moving and they were like, oh my God, I got to FOMO into something. You just have to take that same mentality and be like, I have to FOMO into something when it's down. That's it. That's it. Because you know what? I got a colleague in the YouTube member area. She's been talking about what she thinks is going to happen in the fourth quarter. So, we do our VIP podcast later on. And you're probably wondering what that has to do with what I'm saying here. Is there's a concept of last chance shopping, right? Like, this is the last time that they're going to be able to smack the market, tie it with stonks or tie it to some excuse, or there's a meeting at the White House. I mean, does anybody ever remember what these corrections are actually about? They don't. This literally is last chance shopping. Like, that's like, wait, what is this guy saying? Why did I watch this video? It's last chance shopping. It is, right? Because again, Michael Saylor told you what it was. He told you volatility is good for the soul or whatever. Yeah. Volatility is good for whales that have to buy at your expense. And Mike tried to warn you. He did. He told you it was coming. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Let me take a step back from this market for a second. And the next thing I know, I look at it. I have no idea why it's down. It's down because all those levered market maker short sellers that I talk about in my other market update are out there just trying to literally just trying to crack this market and get everyone to panic sell. I don't know. For a Jerome Powell, inflation, geopolitical, it's laughable. Those things aren't going to matter anymore. They don't matter now. Just the algorithms and the market makers are trading them. So it's an illusion that they matter. It's an illusion. Now, I know you're like, dude, my P&L is not an illusion. I know. But trust me, in 3 months, based on what my colleague says, in 3 months or 5 months, and this happened in 2017, by the way, there was a big smack in August. It was like 40% back in the day in Bitcoin. Down 40% in August before it went up only. I don't know if they're capable of 30 or 40% these days, but I'm going to be preaching, don't let them run you out of this market. Matter of fact, you want to be like the firefighter, right? You want to be the guy that's running into the building as everyone else is running out. Seriously. Okay, let's welcome who's here. We got some new members here. Welcome. Thomas Chai. Hello. Right? Big Rich first on the stream. The man knows how to use our emojis. Trust me. The bigger the base, the higher into space. Dude, it's coming. That's a nice way of saying the more choppy the consolidation, the higher it can go, which is exactly what's happening right now. Ron, who's been here a while, tallest crypto path. Kevin, the diggity. Thoughts on definitive coin? I will look it up. Okay. Kane says the UK government just sold their Bitcoin. Excellent. Excellent. He sold it to Michael Saylor. And by the way, I have a little privacy project I like. Hopefully you have a privacy project that you like, given the way those characters behave. Seriously, privacy and thinking about how AI will use money. Okay. You can make a lot of money buying that kind of stuff when everyone is selling. SJ, greetings, sir. Welcome. Donato, Scott Lawrence, Eric's Random Clips. Welcome to the new people. SJ. We pump when World Liberty Financial goes public. Hey, now. Isn't it funny, right? We talked about this last week about all the FOMO for crypto in stonks, right? Talk about the ultimate reverse indicator. It's like, oh, the cringe. Circle saying, oh, we'll sell you all the stock you want so we can buy crypto or whatever. God, right? Once they purge that nonsense out of the system, once they juice cleanse everybody, I kind of hope they're done this morning, but I said that 2 days ago, right? All right, we have Jerry. What's going on? Supreme Vision, wavy gravy, pancakes and peanut butter. What's going on? Daniel, James Bechamel. Which XLM should I buy? They have multiple. Okay, well, I can't give you investment advice, but I would say check out whatever is on Coinbase and verify that with what's on, say, Gemini or Kraken, right? Something versus the US dollar. That's kind of how I do it. I don't do the stable coin thing. Stick with Coinbase, right? Don't buy the perpetuals. Only do that if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you just buy what they call spot. Rave Song Records is here. Daniel. Okay, folks, that is the market update for today. TC Crypto, T Creek. We will see you later today for VIP.